Now, around 4,000 households in England earning more than £100,000 a year have received taxpayers' money to help them buy a home. Official figures also reveal that the Help to Buy equity loan scheme has assisted more than 20,000 households who were not first-time buyers. Labour said it showed the initiative was badly targeted, but the government insisted it continued to make home ownership a reality for thousands of people. Well, with me to discuss this, Henry Pryor, who's an independent housing expert. Do those figures indicate to you that this wasn't as well targeted as it should have been?
Well, I fear, Julian, we may be judging it perhaps with the benefit of some hindsight. We have to remember, take ourselves back 10 years. We were in the midst of a terrifying financial situation. The credit crunch of 2007, 2008 took us very much to the brink as far as many economists are concerned. And indeed, it's to the credit of the government at the time and subsequently that they managed to pull us out of what could have been an incredibly painful situation for all of us. The coalition government, George Osborne, when he was Chancellor, brought in this Help to Buy scheme. There have been many flavours of it since then, in order to encourage lenders to have the confidence to get back out and lend money in the shape of mortgages to homeowners. And they did that by effectively putting a floor under the sorts of losses that the lenders could experience if house prices were to have fallen further. Clearly, the government at the time was keen to avoid having to bail out the banks for a second time. And the Help to Buy scheme very much did, to the government's credit, plug that credibility gap and helped everyone to move on.
But it wasn't supposed to, was it, fund people who are earning more than £100,000 a year and could therefore get the mortgage themselves?
Well, it was never specifically capped at any level and no political party suggested that it necessarily should be. It's not surprising if we look at London, for example. Remember, the United Kingdom, of course, is a patchwork quilt of different housing markets with different average values. But in London, where the cap has been raised 12 months ago to 40% of the guarantee from the government, with a £600,000 cap, the average household, remember this is not an individual salary, but a combined income £50,000 between a couple, would only allow them to borrow as a mortgage roughly £400,000. So you can see that the government was trying to come up with a scheme that would help everybody, particularly those who were finding it a struggle to get onto the housing ladder.
How then, if you feel it needs to be, would you reform the system now?
Well, I think pretty much everybody now agrees that the system has done and delivered what it was intended to deliver, and lenders are now very happy lending that money. We've seen, according to the government statistics, over 100,000, 113,000 people take advantage of this particular flavour of Help to Buy. And not surprisingly, as is pointed out, some of those people were high earners and perhaps arguably didn't need the assistance. But we have to remember that since over the last perhaps 2 or 3 years, there has been a strong argument that this has been less of a Help to Buy and more of a Help to Build scheme. Developers, if you look at their share prices, have done very nicely, thank you, from it. And perhaps the time has come for us all to reevaluate the necessity and retarget, as John Healey was explaining this morning, where exactly Help to Buy goes. And the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, indeed, has also talked about refocusing, repurposing the government assistance that's going out to people who need to buy homes.
OK. Henry Pryor, thanks very much indeed.